Welcome to the Give and Go. My name's Tim, and thank you for tuning in. I've been gone for a while with all this work that I've had to do, but thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to be doing surprises and disappointments from the first half of the season. But before we do anything, as always, go ahead and follow us on Instagram and subscribe to this channel. And before, comment below on what you think our surprises and disappointments will be in this video. So to start off, I'm going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams, one of the biggest surprises this year. So this team is stacked on offense all across the board. You have Todd Gurley at running back, who has definitely improved since last year, looking like the rookie he was 2 years ago. You have one of the best dynamic duos at wide receiver right now, breaking out at Sammy Watkins, and you have Robert Woods. Cooper Kupp's coming into his own in the slot, so that's also great. And Jared Goff is developing tremendously. It's been amazing to see, and they're definitely going to be a contender going forward into January, so that's definitely good. And they have the best special teams in the NFL right now with their kicker Greg Zuerlein and their punter Johnny Hekker. And Sean McVay is the coach of the year in my book halfway through the 2017 NFL season, and he deserves it as he's turned one of the worst offenses ranked last year into the number one offense this year. So they're my number one surprise so far. My biggest disappointment for you guys is the New York Giants. And I have to apologize to you guys. My prediction was way off. I had them going to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season, and it's just not turned out the way that it has to be to make the Super Bowl. They have no offensive line whatsoever. Eric Flowers is a bust. They just need a whole entire revamped offensive line. They have too many big egos in that locker room. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was suspended, so was Janoris Jenkins. And so I don't think Ben McAdoo can handle that, and because they're losing it, compounds upon itself. Odell Beckham's injured along with the rest of the wide receivers, so they have Sterling Shepard heading that up. Not a great opportunity there. And Eli Manning, although he's still a starting quarterback in this league, he can't win a Super Bowl with that team. And so it's time to move on from him. And Ben McAdoo, for sure, he has to be gone at the end of the year, as he has been a major disappointment, and he's been being outdueled by almost all young coaches in the NFL. A big surprise, right in the same stadium, the New York Jets. Again, I was wrong once again. They're only one game below 500, and they're really good this year, the New York Jets. They've put together 4 wins. I predicted that they would only win 1, so it's been looking great for them. And so they still lack talent everywhere. That's not the question. They still don't have an elite quarterback. They have Josh McCown back there, but he's turned it around, and he is a Pro Bowl quarterback this year with Bobby Anderson at the wide receiver position. They have Jermaine Kearse, and they have a couple other good players, but nothing much. Their running game is inefficient at best. And their defense, although they've lost to Sheldon Richardson, they've been a cohesive unit, and they're having a lot of fun. If you look back a couple weeks ago, Jamal Adams was dancing.
Moves you gotta see. I'm doing my dance, hey. I'm doing my dance. Don't mind me. I'm doing my dance, hey. Look, I'm doing my dance.
And it was all great and all, and so I definitely like the way the New York Jets have turned it around this year, and Todd Bowles may have just saved his job. Another disappointment for me, though, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team has too much talent not to do well. They have O.J. Howard at tight end along with Cameron Brate. They have Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson. They have Jameis Winston, Doug Martin, Jacquizz Rodgers on offense, and their offensive line is really good. So they have no excuse whatsoever not to be doing well. And their defense, it's just been disappointing as well. Their corners haven't been acting the way they have to be. The only good consistent player on that defense would be Gerald McCoy and maybe Quan Alexander. So that's definitely a disappointment for me. Jameis Winston has regressed under the offensive guru of Dirk Cutter, and so I definitely think that he has to be leaving at the end of the year and replaced with someone new and a new thing. And Mike Evans, again, he had no discipline this past week as he hit Marshawn Lattimore, the Saints cornerback. And so that's really disappointing. They definitely have to get it together. Then another surprise for me would be the Philadelphia Eagles. And Carson Wentz has become an elite quarterback right before our eyes this year, just in his sophomore year. And he is the MVP frontrunner in my book, as he's turned this team into a 7-1 team, definitely by far the number 1 seed in the NFC and in the NFL, to be honest with you. Howie Roseman, he's done a fantastic job over the past 2 off seasons. And 2 off seasons ago, he traded up to the number 2 pick with Cleveland, traded a number 1 in 2017 away to go grab Carson Wentz. Great acquisition there. They traded Sam Bradford, guys. He was on the team at the time. Grabbed the number 1 pick, which they ended up using to grab Derek Barnett. They signed Alshon Jeffrey. They traded for Jay Ajayi, great pickup by them at the trade deadline, and for Ronald Darby at the beginning of the season. And he has yet to play and show his potential. So it's just been looking great. And this team has all the necessary parts and ingredients for a Super Bowl team. Mark my words. I don't know if they're going to be in the Super Bowl, but they definitely will be in the NFC Championship game in January. And last but not least, the biggest surprise team for me would be the New Orleans Saints. This team has turned it around from all their expectations of a bad defense and great offense, and their defense has been performing outstandingly. Their safeties, after an 0-2 start this year, they've been turning it around. Marshawn Lattimore has become a top 10 elite cornerback in this league, shutting down opposing wide receivers. Cameron Jordan has once again come alive on that defense, and the linebackers are looking great after signing A.J. Klein, Manti Te'o, and a couple other pieces. And Alvin Kamara has become a great change of pace running back alongside Mark Ingram after getting rid of Adrian Peterson to the Arizona Cardinals, and they could also be primed for a Super Bowl run this upcoming January. Thanks for tuning in to The Give and Go, and hopefully we'll be back next week with more information about Week 9 of the NFL season and looking forward to Week 10. Have a great rest of your day.